Hello, Vibe coders and agent developers. This is Seme from Apify, and I want to show you today how you can install 5,000 tools via the Apify MCP server straight into Visual Studio using a cool coding agent called Cline. So for this demo, you can actually load those tools straight into Visual Studio and use them to create any kind of applications or agents that you need. It could be as diverse as sentiment analysis tools. So you need to scrape for, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can create a heat map analysis tool for Google Maps, for example. You can work on a travel website and you need to scrape, booking.com, TripAdvisor, or you're doing some, price comparison application or a price comparison agent. So you can scrape everything from, Amazon, Google Shopping, or whatever e-commerce store you can think of. So we have 5,000 tools, so there are really good chances that whatever tools that we have, it's there. And in the future, you can also use the MCP Apify MCP marketplace to load up even more sophisticated tools via their servers there. So we're super excited for this. So let me show you how you can do this. So first thing you need is to go to the Apify store, and if you have not have a login yet, so go ahead and log in and go to the settings here. And under API and integrations, you can find your tokens here. You can create a new token. I've already done that here. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste that. All right. So what you need to do, of course, is go to Cline and install that on Visual Studio. Once you've done that, you can go to Visual Studio and you'll get something like this. You'll see here on the left pane the Cline icon. Let me go ahead and close that. And what I really love about Cline is two things. First of all, they have visibility for every action that's done. So basically, you know exactly how many tokens you're consuming and exactly how much price that's costing you, especially if you use them as an API provider. But, you have, of course, you can use Anthropic or any other, API provider like Open Router, etc. So you go to the MCP server tab here, right, on the button. You have their marketplace, and you can go ahead and look for Apify, and you find it here. There's a quick install. You just click on that, and it gets all the documentation it needs from GitHub, and basically installs the server on your local machine. Okay, so off it goes. So while it's doing that, I will just go ahead and auto approve things here. And I will show you one cool feature about the Apify MCP server, and that is the ability to actually load any tools at once, right? So it can discover tools already, but you can add an ability for it to actually load the tools directly without you having to load them. So you can go to this tester MCP client, and under the JSON, you will find the actual value that you need to add to the prompt on Cline, which is enable adding actors equals true. So let's go back and see if it's almost done. Okay. Okay, so it's asking for my token. So let me go ahead and give it my token. I'm just going to go off screen with this. Tokens are highly sensitive, and we always recommend that you hide them. If it does get exposed, you can go here to the settings again where you had your token, and you can go ahead and just delete that token. All right, so I've loaded my token, and I think I can bring this back. 1 second. All right. So that it's finished with my token, and now it's asking me if it should look like or to discover actors, which is a tool inside the server that discovers the actual actors. Before that, I said that I'm gonna add this enable tool, which basically allows you to load any actor on the go, right? So it already has the discover tool, but what it doesn't have is in this enable tool. So let's go ahead and say, please add this to the arg so I can load any tool on the go, and that will actually allow you to auto load the tools. All right. Okay, so it's updating the server file, and that is pretty much it. So while it's doing that, let's think of a use case. So let's say I want to scrape Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So I want to find some options to scrape Twitter, or let's maybe just do Instagram for now. Instagram, please find me some options for this, and give me info on the pricing, reviews. Okay. All right, so now it's discovering Instagram scrapers, a total of 5, and goes ahead and loads all the actors that are found in the Apify. So Instagram comment scraper, Instagram post scraper, Instagram scraper, and it has all the details here, including the total runs, the things that total users, things that are critical for it to get an understanding of which actual scraper to use, including the use case for each scraper, which includes the input, output, and other kind of README information that it needs. Okay, so it wants to get more details of that, so that of the scrapers that it found. So that's what it's doing right now. Okay, great. So now it wants to add this tool onto the server. All right, it wants to do a test, but let's do a different test. Maybe let's try to scrape popular, I don't know, Mr. Beast maybe. Everybody likes Mr. Beast. There we go. Let's scrape Mr. Beast. I just bought one of their chocolates, and I have to say, he makes a hell of a chocolate. All right, so I want to scrape Mr. Beast. Instagram. Yeah, let's do that. And off it goes to scrape Mr. Beast. You can see here that it's limiting the results to 3. Obviously, you can change that, but it's a good way to test the scraper itself to see what kind of output you get. And once you do get the output, it actually is inside the Cline agent, and you can use that to actually integrate directly into any application that you need. So if you go back to the Apify store, you can see here that it's running the Instagram scraper, and if you go to the last run, you can see that it's actually finding Mr. Beast's Instagram, and it will pop up soon with all the info that it needs based on his profile. There's the chocolate. It's a good chocolate. All right, here we go. So we got Mr. Beast, and you can see Mr. Beast with Ronaldo. All right, that's cool. And all this information is now going to be transported back into this, plus the logic that it needs. Okay. And that's one thing about maybe scraping Instagram. There's always a lot of memory that's usually needed, but here it managed to actually extract all the data from him, right? And of course you can use all of this logic to actually what I really like about when agents use MCP, they always find a way to recover. So if they don't have a particular tool that works, they'll always find a way to actually complete that task. All right, so that is one small use case, and we're super excited to see what kind of use cases you can think of. What I love is when you start to combine different actors together, then you can see that logic, and then you can take that logic and actually develop it into a web application or agent.